Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna react to Have you called a cop on someone?
Have you ever called the police on someone?
Yes. I was walking home from work and these two guys pulled up in front of me in their car, blocking my path. It was very clear that they were trying to get me in their car.
Have you ever called the police on someone?
No, I don't think so. I have not.
No.
I don't think I have.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Have you ever called 911?
Okay, wait. I did call. My house got robbed.
When someone burgled my home.
Have you ever called the police on someone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Tons of people.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I worked in a sandwich shop, so you had a bunch of people on our front property doing drugs.
Have you ever called the police on someone?
I've called 911.
I used to prank call
911 is the police.
911 when I was really young.
If I hang up fast enough, nothing will happen. It's fine. Cops pulled up to my house wanting to make sure everything was okay because apparently hanging up fast enough does nothing.
Have you ever called the police on someone?
I have called the police on someone.
I have.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Actually, I have a bunch.
Have you ever called the police on someone?
No. I was close one time. I was in the dollar store parking lot and there was a dog inside of a car and it was really, really hot. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait 5 minutes. And I was really stressed out, but the owner came out and I was like, hey man, it's really hot.
Have you called 911?
I have called it.
That's actually understandable. I would have probably done the same. Actually, I probably would not have done the same. I would probably just mind my own business.
I have had a friend who was unresponsive to drinking a lot of alcohol. Took her to the hospital and she was completely fine. Left her with kind of a nice bill.
Have you ever called the police on someone?
Someone was following me home when I was 17.
Called the police because somebody kept knocking on the door and jiggling the handle.
Me and some other people were on an airplane getting harassed by a man.
Have you ever called the police on anyone?
Yes, 5.5 years ago, reported my stepdad for abuse.
My brother and I walked out and he was choking my mother on the stairs. He ran away.
Oof, that's tough. That's tough. Bless those guys, man. They're most likely traumatized. That's really tough.
And then the cops found him. They found him at the gas station that he worked at with meth and a can of spring cheese.
Have you ever called the police on anyone?
I have called the police on someone.
I'm glad she found humor in it too, so she's most likely healed from it.
The neighbors across the street from me, the father was screaming at his daughter really horribly. And so we called the police to do a check-in and make sure everything was okay.
Were they helpful?
No, they pulled into the driveway and immediately turned around and went back somewhere else. I have no idea. They did not even knock on the door. Turned around and make a check-in and make sure everything. Screaming at his daughter. Police on someone. The neighbors across the street from me, the father was screaming at his daughter really horribly. And so we called the police to do a check-in and make sure everything was okay.
I don't think that you really need to call the cops on somebody for that, because who knows what the daughter could have been doing, disobeying their dad, and knowing that the cop immediately turned around shows that it was nothing serious.
Were they helpful?
No, they pulled into the driveway and immediately turned around and went.
We can't say it wasn't helpful because she doesn't know the situation. She was just watching from afar.
Back somewhere else. I have no idea. They did not even knock on the door.
Feel guilty at all?
About calling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just feel very I don't want to inconvenience them.
Have you ever called the police on someone?
Yes, I was walking home on a very, very cold December evening and I found a man asleep on the sidewalk. So I did call the police. They asked me to stay with him and I declined because it was exceedingly cold outside. And if you are that sleeping man, I also sincerely apologize to you.
My upstairs neighbor, he would verbally harass us and bang on our doors and our walls and things like that. But I felt really bad because he ended up getting evicted.
Ever called the police on anyone?
No. I have called the police though. For a tree that fell down in the middle of the road. So I didn't know what to do.
That's understandable. She actually did the right thing.
Have you ever called the police on someone?
Actually, I haven't.
I have not.
No.
I have not. I don't think I've put myself in that
like situation to have to call someone.
You ever called
I don't think people tend to put themselves in a situation where they have to call the cops. I think the situation just happens, you know?
the police on someone?
No, I've had police called on me. My friends and I were driving illegally with people in a car. It was like 4 in the morning and we had to call our parents and get picked up. Got grounded for a while.
They pulled me over because they got a call that I was being like a drunk driver, but then he looked at me and he's all like, I think I just pulled over the wrong car.
Has anyone ever called the cops on you?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Was it right that they were called on you?
In retrospect, yes.
What were you doing?
At least he's honest.
Loud activities that may or may not have involved some other substances.
Have you ever?
What the fuck does that mean? Was party? What? Go back.
In retrospect, yes.
What were you doing?
Loud activities that may or may not have involved some other substances.
Have you ever called the police
I understand.
on someone?
Like for a bad reason?
Have you called the police on someone for a good reason?
Yes. One of my friends in college, she had drank way too much alcohol, so I called 911.
In college, they did call 911 for me being very intoxicated. Like some girl like punched me in the face to try to wake me up and I was just like a dead body.
I got in a fight with my mom. We were like yelling and we were on the street and they called the police. It was very awkward having to tell them that like, yeah, we're just Hispanic and we yell.
I actually called the cops on my neighbor once because I found out that they stole my bike and they hid it in their storage. Like, it was like, I lived in an apartment at the time. It was like they work at the apartment and then they stole my bike and then they put it in the storage where they were gonna ship it and sell it. So I called the cops on them and then they were like, is this your bike? Do you have proof? And I'm like, yes, it's my bike. You know, I was really young and I was crying, like, it's my bike. And then, yeah, and they were my parents' friend. Let me tell you, I ruined that friendship.
And fight.
Do you think there's ever a not appropriate time to call the police?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
When is it inappropriate?
Most of the time it's inappropriate to call the cops.
Your neighbors are playing music too loud at like 8 p.m. on a Tuesday.
I've called the police on my neighbors. He had bagpipes. He wasn't allowed to play it inside his house, so he played it instead in his backyard.
Any type of normal altercation
Why wouldn't you be able to play bagpipes in your house? It makes no sense.
or anything like that, I would never call the police.
When is it not appropriate to call the cops?
When you're calling them just because you feel uncomfortable.
When it's a situation that can be worked out just through conversation.
If like you're just being a little bitch and it's like something that you can just ignore.
I think when it's more so you're emotional.
If you think about it, they're all describing a Karen.
Sometimes people just get angry over small things and the small things don't need to be taken out of hand.
Have you ever called the police?
Absolutely not. I don't believe in calling the police.
No. I don't know.
Until they get robbed.
The relationship with the police for me is...
Nope, I'm a no cop person even though there may be conflict. I'll try to find other resolutions.
I don't know, they either just like exacerbate the situation or they do nothing.
I don't really believe in calling the police on other people, especially people that could be harmed disproportionately by the police. So
I don't even know if the police is really gonna be there for me. Respectfully, I'm sure there are some police that really will stand up for justice, but I feel like I can handle it if I need to, unless like you're threatening my life, then I might call the police.
Have you ever called the police?
I've called the police about like 15 times. No, I'm just playing. I think the only time I've called the police was twice. One, I was locked outside, and then the other one was for the bike. But ever since, other than that, no. Yeah. So, guys, thank you for watching my reaction video. I will see you guys next time.